Hello everyone, this is DieselD199 speaking, and today I'm going to be answering some more of the questions which were submitted to me in the comment section of my Q&A announcement video. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about my channel and my TOMICA T&F Friends series, and today's video is definitely going to be one worth watching because I'm going to be showing you guys some footage from before I was making YouTube videos, so some stuff that's never been seen before, and I'm sure that will definitely be interesting to you guys, and so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my YouTube channel. The first question is a big one, and it was asked by a number of different people. Why did you decide to create your own YouTube channel and produce TOMICA T&F Friends? Were you inspired by anyone in particular? Well, I started making T&F Friends videos way back in 2006. And the reason that I started doing those was because I'd just been given a digital video camera and I needed something to film, basically. And it's very easy to make a T&F Friends video because the entire set, all of the characters, they're all in the one place. And you can basically do it all by yourself. And so I knew at the time that the original series had been done with models, and so I decided to give it a go and see if I could do my own, because I had these Tomy trains from when I was younger, and I thought, yeah, why not? And I made 3 episodes, which you can now see on the screen. One was made in 2006, and I think the other 2 were made in 2007. And yeah, these were basically pilot episodes to see if I could pull together an entire episode and do it all myself. And, I was pretty happy with them at the time. And from there, I decided to experiment with making the sets more realistic, try out different things like that, do backdrops, add ground cover, add some grass. And it was around about this time, in 2007, that I think I discovered other people on the internet were also interested in T&F Friends that were, say, older than the target audience. And I think the first T&F Friends community that I really got involved with was the Wikipedia one, and I helped out maintaining some of the Wikipedia articles for a brief period of time, and then I found Soda Island forums. And from there, I discovered the first T&F Friends fan video that I'd ever seen, and found out that, there were other people making these fan videos like I was, which was very interesting to me. It wasn't that good from memory. I don't know who made it, and it wasn't even on YouTube, I don't think. But it was an Ertl video. There were hands in it and all sorts of things like that, and I thought, oh, Jesus. But from there, I discovered YouTube and all of the wonderful series that were on there. And there were probably 3 main YouTube series that I really followed quite closely because I didn't have very good internet at the time. In fact, I haven't really had good internet until last year. But back then, I was still on dial-up, so, even the low-quality YouTube videos that were around at the time took a long time to download. And but I watched 3 main series, and they were Train Lover 476's Tomy T&F Friends, Miss Oliver and Blossom's T&F series, and then there was Captain Punjab series, which I discovered specifically through Soda Island forums, I think. And, one of the things they all had their different qualities. I mean, Captain Punjab had great music and some really great sets, and Train Lover 476 and Miss Oliver and Blossom, were really funny. But above all, one of the things I really did admire about all 3 of these content creators was, they had a series going, and they had episode 1, episode 2, and, there was a lot of content on there, and I watched a lot of it, and I followed these guys, and I added them as friends, I think, back in the day when you could add friends on YouTube. And then I started thinking, well, why don't I do my own YouTube series? And I ummed and ahed about it for a while, and eventually I decided that, yeah, I was going to do it. And so my YouTube channel specifically was created in 2007, and around about 2008 I uploaded my first video, although I was planning on doing the YouTube series back in 2007, I think. Okay, on to the next question, and Marcus Yamamoto asked, what happened to your Paradise Resort video? Will you remake it? So this was the first video that I uploaded to YouTube, and it was initially a school project that I did with a group of friends. It is still on YouTube, I just set it to private, and the reason that I did that was it has aged considerably, but it wasn't getting that many views, and more specifically, the quality of the video was bad. Not the actual making of the video itself, but it was, I think, in like 4:3 aspect ratio, even though it was filmed in 16:9, and the size of the video was 144p. And that was my fault. I didn't know that much about how to upload things to YouTube properly, and there was also the fact that I had rubbish internet and all sorts of things like that. I'm not going to remake it. I have no plans to do that. But if YouTube would introduce a feature that would let me replace the video without losing the comments and all the views and all that sort of stuff. I think Vimeo has this feature where you can just replace old video with an updated, higher resolution video. Then I would do that, and I would make the video public again. There's quite a few videos, actually, that I would re-upload in a higher quality. Unfortunately, YouTube does not permit this. I hope that they will in future, because if that's the case, you guys are going to get a whole bunch of videos which are in a higher resolution. But until that time, the Paradise Resort video will most likely remain private. But I am glad that you do like it, Marcus. Alright then, the next question comes from Sotra Engine 4. How did you get so many subscribers? So this question was actually asked before I hit the 10,000 mark, which I'm very happy about, as I'm sure you guys can tell. I've currently, at the time of recording this, got 10,267 subscribers. And how I got that many? Well, I'm not really sure how I got that many. I've never really done any sort of advertising campaign or anything like that. But, I've been at this for a very long time. I made my channel back in 2007, so, I've been doing this for about 7 years, and I've been making videos for about 6. So, with time, if you make content that people like, you'll get more subscribers. And just so happens I've been making content that some people like for fairly long time, and as you get more subscribers, there's a kind of snowball effect, and the rate at which you get subscribers increases exponentially. So just keep at it, and with time you'll get more subscribers. All right, let's get on to the next category, which is my TOMICA Thomas and Friends series. Okay, when will Short 34 be released? What will it be about? Well, it just so happens that Short 34 has already been released. No, this question was asked before I released Short 34. So Short 35, on the other hand, will probably be released either this week or next week. I am not making any promises, but I am on a short break at the moment. So I'll definitely try and do another short within the next 2 weeks, but we'll see. This question was asked by a number of different people. Which TOMICA Thomas and Friends short so far is your favorite? Which is your least favorite? Well, I think my favorite short is probably Short 32, Diesels, Ducks and Demons. It was definitely a short that a lot of hard work went into, and it's a short that I thought had one of the best stories, had some of the best effects, and overall was filmed really well. I think someone specifically asked me what my funniest short was, and I'm not really sure about that. Short 34 I thought was reasonably funny. It is difficult for me to tell what's funny and what isn't. So I'll ask you guys which short that you think is the funniest, and if you can just post that in the comment section, I think we'll get a better idea of which one is the funniest. But I was also asked, which is your least favorite short? And that would probably be short 4. What does this look like to you? That was a weird short, I have to admit. That's when I first started really getting into making shorts regularly, and I was experimenting with different kinds of humor. And that's one of the ones I'm not too particularly happy about, but you know. Joshua asked, which Tomica Thomas and Friends character is your favorite? It's definitely hard to choose, I have to say, but I think I'm going to have to go with Thomas. The Zane Company, I think I butchered your name, which Tomica Thomas and Friends short so far was the most difficult to make? Short 33. That's an easy question to answer. The reason for that is every single shot had to go through, it had to go into one program, then into another program, then back to the first program, so that the snow could be added and the green carpet could be converted to white to give the appearance of snow. And yeah, that was a very long and tedious process, I can tell you that much. Certainly in the future, I'm going to have to reassess how I go about making snow videos. Which Tomica Thomas and Friends short would you improve if you could? This was asked by Percy and Duck Fan 94 and Evil Random Guy 666. All of them I would improve to an extent. I don't think I've ever released a video or made any kind of video ever in which there is not something that I would go back and fix if I could, if I wanted to. You know, I think that's just part of being an artist, is nothing is ever perfect. Doesn't matter what you do, you'll never be 100% happy with the final result. There are some videos you're more happy than others, but at the end of the day, there's always something that you would fix if you could. And so there's no one short in particular. There's a lot that I would fix if I could. Denver Sesams and Hunter VS asked, will you ever produce a Tomica Thomas and Friends feature-length film? Probably not. If you look at my Tomica Thomas and Friends playlist on YouTube, that in total, something that I've been working on for about, say, 4 years, is 2 hours long. So if I was to do a feature-length film, which would be 90 minutes long, that's the length of a standard feature-length film, you can imagine it would take a very, very long time. That being said, I have scripted, to an extent, 2 different feature film ideas. So it's not like I don't have the ideas, it's just I don't really have the capacity to make them. But I won't rule anything out. Are there any other Railway series stories that you would consider adapting? Sure, there are. I am limited by what models that Tomy and Playrail have made currently, or Trackmaster as well. I currently only own, is it the first 28 books? The ones which were written by the Reverend Audrey. I don't have the ones that were written by Christopher. I've got to get around to buying that at some point, but I don't think, last time I checked, you couldn't buy them all in one. You couldn't buy the complete set at this particular point in time. So when I've looked through those ones, yeah, sure, there may be other stories that I consider doing. Of the ones that were written by Audrey, I don't think there's all that many which I could do even if I wanted to. But I may consider doing The Missing Coach, for example. I might do that one, but we'll see. The next question comes from Tidmouth Terminus and Matthew Train Guy 985. Will you be doing any more parodies of specific Thomas and Friends episodes? Yes, I will be. I'm not sure what the next one will be, but I have a few ideas written down already. I don't think that the next video, the next short, will be a specific parody, but definitely I will be doing more in future. This is a question that I've gotten a lot over the years. Do you plan on ever making episode 2 of TOMICA T&F Friends? The short answer is no. I have no plans on doing that. In fact, I did have plans to do a whole other series, which would replace the prologue and the first episode. Look, episode 1 was released back in 2008. It's now 2014. A lot has changed since then. The reason that I switched to doing shorts is there's just so much more flexibility with doing them. And, you know, some of the shorts, like Short 32, that was 10 minutes long. It's basically an episode. I guess some people would prefer that they were called episodes. But no plans to do episode 2. I might do another series in the future where I'll use the term episode, have them regularly, say 10, 15 minutes long, I don't know. But for now, I'm going to continue doing shorts. Well, this question follows straight on from that. It was submitted by Fireflames10C. Are you going to cancel your planned series and instead continue to make shorts? Yes, that planned series, you know, I scripted different bits and pieces of it. At the end of the day, it's just that much easier to do shorts. I mean, on my current layout, you know, I could probably look into doing something similar to that. But yeah, for now, I will continue to make shorts. James A. Williams asked, are people regularly offended by your first 2 TOMICA T&F Friends shorts? Yes, they are. I haven't actually gone through the comment section in a while, but I'm sure there are plenty of comments from people who were offended by them, even though there is a warning in the top of the description. Those 2 shorts were an experiment in using, you know, more mature themes and raunchier language, and I decided not to go with that. I decided that I didn't like it. But people are offended by most of the things I do. I mean, there are videos where people who are, you know, they're offended by something I've said, and I'm not even sure what it is. They just write something like, don't cuss. Well, I don't know what cussing you're talking about. I mean, I remember someone was really annoyed with me because I said, oh my God, in one of my videos. And, you know, some people are just a bit too sensitive, I think. Because, I mean, I try to keep the mature themes only communicated through innuendo. And I try to not swear throughout any of my videos. But what people consider to be swearing sometimes really does surprise me. You know, the thing is, these videos are comedy. They're supposed to be funny. And I would be severely limited if I used the kind of language that some people seem to expect me to use, if I excluded the kinds of words that some people expect me to exclude. Like, you know, some people just don't even like the term shut up and all sorts of weird things like that. And I think they need to be a bit less sensitive. This is a comedy series, and whilst I think that younger kids can enjoy it, it is predominantly aimed towards older kids. Speaking of offense, why is Edward a homosexual pedophile in your TOMICA T&F Friends shorts? This was asked by quite a lot of people. Right, well, so the idea for Edward to be a bit seedy, shall we say, came from... Obviously, his character is based on Herbert from Family Guy. And originally, when I was thinking up how I would make Edward a character, I thought, well, you know, I think it's a bit weird that he's a really old engine, and in the Trouble in the Shed saga, he is hanging out with Thomas and Percy, who are young tank engines. And from that I thought, well, wouldn't it be a bit funny if he spoke like, and acted to an extent like Herbert from Family Guy? Now, I've only done this for comedic purposes. I don't have any particular political agenda at all. I mean, people have asked me about Percy being gay. I mean, the whole idea of him being gay is not to have any kind of political message. It's to be funny, because there are so many male engines on Sodor and so few female engines. See, a number of times before I actually did my my Valentine's Day short last year, I'd planned to do a Valentine's Day video way back in 2008. I mean, you can see some of the video here where James was going to go on a date with Molly or something. And I'd always thought, if I ever did Valentine's Day on Soda, wouldn't it be difficult? Because there are just so few female engines. And from that, you get the kind of the joke that, some of them are gay. People need to take it less seriously, I think. And just enjoy it for its comedic value. Pikachu asked, why is Duck evil? To find out, you've got to watch Short 32. It's all explained in there. Oliver GWR asked, which short did Oliver first appear in? I'm not sure which short he first appeared in. His first speaking role was Short 24, I'm pretty sure. Which video is Stanley's crash in? Presumably, you are referring to the Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends accidents video. Yeah, that's what it's called. There was a shot where Stanley crashes through the buffers of the Soda washdown, and even though most of the clips in that video were stock footage, that one was not. It was specially filmed for that particular video, so it doesn't come from any other video. Big Thomas Fan 624 asked, why doesn't Neville take part in Tender Engines United meetings anymore? Because Gordon was rude to him. The characters who take place in these meetings, it isn't really fixed. It's sort of variable, I guess. Not everyone would turn up to the meetings all the time. And this is the final question for today. How is Thomas and the gang going to stop Scruffy? And it was asked by Oliver Churchill. Well, you're just going to have to keep watching and find out, I'm afraid, because I haven't got it figured out just yet. But I'm sure it will be overly dramatic, as usual. And that's it for this video. Join me next time as I answer all your behind-the-scenes questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for listening, everyone. This is DieselD199 signing off.